Freud reveals 3 things your dreams are trying to warn you about, but you ignore. You dream about falling off a cliff. You wake up sweating. Just a weird dream, you tell yourself. But what if I told you that Freud believed your unconscious mind was desperately trying to send you a message? What if that dream about falling, being chased, or even that bizarre dream where you're back in high school naked, actually contains vital information about your deepest fears and desires? Before we dive into the hidden world of your dreams, hit that subscribe button if you want to understand your mind better. We're about to explore what Freud discovered about the secret language your unconscious speaks every single night, the Netflix of your unconscious. Think of your dreams as the Netflix of your unconscious mind. Every night, your brain produces this bizarre, surreal content that seems random, but Freud argued it's anything but random. He called dreams the royal road to the unconscious, essentially your mind's way of processing everything you can't or won't deal with during the day. But here's the thing, and this is where most people get it wrong. Dreams don't speak in plain English. They speak in symbols, metaphors, and coded messages. It's like your unconscious hired the world's most creative screenwriter, but one who can only communicate through riddles and visual poetry. Freud discovered that every dream has 2 layers: the manifest content, what you actually remember seeing, and the latent content, what it really means. Think of it like this: the manifest content is the movie you watch, but the latent content is the director's real message hidden beneath the surface. So, when you dream about being chased by a giant hamburger, your unconscious isn't randomly generating food-based horror. It's trying to tell you something important about your life, your fears, or your desires that you've been ignoring. Section 1. The language of symbols. How your unconscious speaks. Your unconscious mind is incredibly clever, but it has a problem. It can't just tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, you're terrified of commitment," or "You're angry at your mother but won't admit it." Why? Because your conscious mind, your ego, acts like a strict security guard, blocking uncomfortable truths from reaching your awareness. So your unconscious gets creative. It uses symbols, condensation, and displacement to sneak important messages past your psychological security system. Let's break this down with a simple example. Say you dream about a house. In Freudian interpretation, a house often represents the self, your psyche. The different rooms might represent different aspects of your personality. The basement, that's often your unconscious, where you store things you don't want to examine. The attic, maybe your higher aspiration or memories from the past. But here's where it gets fascinating. Your unconscious doesn't just use universal symbols. It creates a personalized code based on your experiences, memories, and associations. That's why dream dictionaries are mostly useless. Your unconscious speaks in your unique psychological language. Freud identified several key mechanisms your dreams use to disguise their real meaning. Condensation, multiple ideas or people get compressed into one dream image. So that strange person in your dream who looks like your boss but acts like your father. Your unconscious is pointing out similarities between them that you haven't consciously recognized. Displacement. The emotional intensity gets shifted from the real target to something safer. You dream about being furious at a random stranger because your unconscious doesn't want you to acknowledge you're actually angry at someone important in your life. Symbolization Abstract concepts get represented through concrete images. Fear becomes a monster. Sexual desire becomes climbing or flying. Death becomes traveling to unknown places. Section 2. The 3 dream warnings you're ignoring. Now let's get to the 3 most common dream warnings that people dismiss, but according to Freud, contain crucial psychological insights. Warning 1. Falling dreams. Your control is slipping for 30 to 6 o'clock. You know that dream, where you're falling from a building, a cliff, or just into an endless void. You wake up with your heart racing, maybe even feeling like you physically fell in bed. Most people dismiss this as just neurons firing randomly during sleep. But Freud would say your unconscious is screaming at you about loss of control. Think about it this way. When do you typically have falling dreams? Usually during periods of stress, major life changes, or when you're feeling overwhelmed. Your unconscious is using the most visceral metaphor possible, falling, to represent your fear of losing control over your life situation. But here's the deeper layer Freud would explore. What specifically are you afraid of losing control over? Is it your career, where you feel like you're failing to meet expectations? Your relationship, where you sense things are heading in a direction you can't influence? Your finances, health, or family situation? The falling dream is your unconscious saying, hey, you're pretending everything is fine, but deep down, you feel like you're in free fall. It's not predicting actual disaster. It's revealing your current psychological state of feeling helpless or out of control. What should you do? Freud would suggest examining what areas of your life feel unstable or uncertain. Where do you feel like you're falling behind or falling short? The dream is inviting you to acknowledge these feelings instead of pushing them down. Warning 2. Chase dreams. You're running from yourself. Being chased in dreams is incredibly common, and the pursuer can be anything: a monster, a person, an animal, or even something abstract like a dark cloud. You're running, hiding, desperately trying to escape, and you usually wake up before getting caught. Fruity in interpretation, you're running from an aspect of yourself that you don't want to confront. The thing chasing you represents a repressed part of your personality, an uncomfortable truth, or responsibility you're avoiding. Here's the fascinating part. Pay attention to who or what is chasing you. If it's a monster, you might be running from your own aggressive impulses or anger that you consider monstrous. If it's a person you know, consider what that person represents to you. If it's your mother, maybe you're avoiding confronting how her influence still controls your decisions. If it's a shadowy figure, you might be running from unknown aspects of your personality. The chase dream often occurs when you're avoiding a difficult conversation, denying a problem in your life, or refusing to acknowledge something about yourself. Your unconscious is saying, you can keep running, but this issue will keep pursuing you until you turn around and face it. Freud's insight: the thing you're running from in the dream is usually something you need to integrate into your conscious awareness. The chase will continue until you stop running and ask, what am I really avoiding in my waking life? Warning 3. Nakedness dreams. Your authentic self feels exposed. You're in a public place, work, school, a party, and suddenly you realize you're completely naked. Everyone can see you, but strangely, they either don't notice or don't seem to care as much as you do. You feel mortified, vulnerable, desperately trying to cover yourself or find clothes. This isn't about literal nudity fears. Freud interpreted nakedness dreams as anxiety about authenticity and vulnerability. Your unconscious is processing fears about being seen for who you really are, your authentic self without the masks, roles, and personas you wear in daily life. Think about when these dreams typically occur. Often, they happen when you're in new situations where you feel like an imposter, when you're hiding something important about yourself, or when you're afraid that people will discover you're not as competent, confident, or put together as you appear. The nakedness represents psychological exposure, the fear that if people really knew your thoughts, insecurities, mistakes, or true personality, they would judge or reject you. Your unconscious is highlighting the exhausting effort it takes to maintain a facade and the deep human fear of being truly known. But here's Freud's deeper insight. Often in the dream, other people don't react as negatively as you expect. This might represent your unconscious wisdom telling you that your authentic self is more acceptable than your anxious mind believes. The dream could be encouraging you to be more genuine, rather than constantly performing a version of yourself you think others want to see. Section 3. What to do after a powerful dream. So you've had one of these dreams, or maybe a completely different, but emotionally intense dream. What would Freud suggest you do? Step 1. Write it down immediately. Dreams fade quickly, and the details matter. Don't just capture the basic plot. Note the emotions, the colors, the strange details that don't make logical sense. Your unconscious put every element there for a reason. Step 2. Free association. This was Freud's core technique. Take each element of the dream and let your mind wander. What does that house remind you of? Who does that person look like? What feelings come up when you think about that symbol? Don't censor yourself. Let your thoughts flow freely. Step 3. Look for patterns. Do you have recurring dreams or themes? Your unconscious might be persistently trying to get your attention about something important. If you keep dreaming about being unprepared for exams, maybe you're consistently avoiding preparation in some area of your life. Step 4. Connect to your current life. What's happening in your waking life that might connect to the dream's themes? Are you facing decisions, conflicts, or changes that relate to the dream's emotional content? Step 5. Don't take dream interpretations as absolute truth. Even Freud acknowledged that sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Dreams are invitations to self-reflection, not prophecies or definitive diagnoses. The goal isn't to become a perfect dream interpreter overnight. It's to start paying attention to the rich psychological material your unconscious produces every night. Your dreams are like having a free therapy session with the wisest part of yourself, the part that sees patterns you miss and knows truths you're not ready to face. Your unconscious is your ally. Here's what Freud understood that many people today forget. Your unconscious isn't trying to torment you with weird dreams. It's trying to help you. Every strange, frightening, or confusing dream is your psyche's attempt to process, heal, and grow. When you ignore your dreams or dismiss them as just random brain activity, you're ignoring a valuable source of self-knowledge. Your unconscious notices things your conscious mind misses. It sees patterns, connections, and solutions that your rational mind hasn't considered. So the next time you have a vivid dream, instead of immediately forgetting it and rushing into your day, pause. Ask yourself, what might my unconscious be trying to tell me? What am I avoiding, denying, or not seeing clearly in my waking life? Your dreams aren't meaningless neural static. They're messages from the deepest part of yourself, written in the most creative language your mind knows how to speak. What do you think? Have you had any of these common dreams, or do you have recurring dreams that puzzle you? Drop a comment below and share your most memorable dream. I read every comment and often find fascinating patterns in what people share. If this helped you understand your dreams differently, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into how your unconscious mind works. And if you know someone who's always talking about their weird dreams, share this video with them. They might finally understand what their mind has been trying to tell them. Next week, we're diving into another fascinating Freudian concept that explains why you keep attracting the same type of person in relationships. Trust me, it's going to change how you see your dating patterns forever. Until then, pay attention to your dreams. Your unconscious has been waiting patiently for you to listen.